Book 2, Chapter 8, Funeral. The sky over Phandalin wept without pause, a persistent, melancholic drizzle that slicked the stones and bled color from the world. Mist clung to the ancient oaks surrounding the Shrine of Luck, their branches dripping tears onto the damp earth below. The air hung heavy with the cloying scent of wet soil and the profound, suffocating weight of grief. Upon a simple wooden bier lay Morthal Pashtor, cleric of Helm, his armored form still and resolute even in death. Raindrops traced paths across the blue and gold Lord's Alliance banner draped over him, converging on the stern, watchful eye of Helm embossed upon it. His warhammer lay beside him, a potent symbol now inert, its divine spark flown. Sildar Hallwinter stood rigid at the head of the bier, his face a mask of controlled sorrow, yet the grief in his eyes seemed to have carved new lines into his weathered features. Townmaster Harbin Wester fidgeted nervously, dabbing at his forehead with a handkerchief, his discomfort radiating outwards like a bad chill. On the edge of the gathering, Halia Thornton observed, her gaze dissecting the raw emotion on display like a merchant appraising goods. Sister Garaele presided, her gentle voice carried clearly through the hushed clearing, weaving prayers for the departed and guidance for those left behind. Each word hung in the air like the mist, ephemeral yet somehow substantial. Zyra huddled deeper into her cloak, the dampness seeping into her very bones. She felt Elara beside her, a terrifyingly still presence, his eyes fixed on some point beyond the veil of rain and reality. Doreen paced subtly at the edge, a restless predator confined, her fingers petting Mr. Mouse in her pocket. And Balin's stonehammer, immense and unmoving, stood like a bulwark against the tide of sorrow, his gaze locked on his fallen comrade, his expression hidden beneath his sodden beard. When Garael fell silent, Sildar stepped forward. His voice, usually firm, thickened with emotion.
Morthal Pashtor served the Lord's Alliance with unwavering conviction,
He began, his gaze sweeping over the gathered adventurers.
He was a shield against the darkness, a leader who, despite challenges, never faltered in his duty. He believed in Phandalin. He died protecting it, protecting us. His watch is ended, but his courage will not be forgotten.
He bowed his head, unable to say more. A heavy silence followed, broken only by the soft patter of rain on leaves. Then, surprisingly, Balin shuffled forward. He looked profoundly uncomfortable as he twisted the strap of his axe and cleared his throat.
Morthal! He was strong. He didn't run.
With that, he turned and walked away from the bier. Just before returning to his place, he stopped, scratching his beard, a flicker of memory crossing his face.
Well,
He amended, glancing sideways guiltily.
except maybe that one time with the jellies.
Elara drifted forward then. He stopped near the bier, his gaze seeming to pierce through the rain-slicked wood.
He carried light,
He breathed.
tried so hard to hold it.
His eyes flickered towards Zira, a momentary flash of desperate recognition, or misrecognition.
But some shadows
Elara whispered, his voice barely disturbing the hush.
feed on the light that seeks to banish them.
Doreen stepped up, pulling her hood lower. Her usual swagger was absent, replaced by a brittleness.
Morthal.
She started.
He was stubborn, preachy, always going on about rules and helm this and helm that.
A humorless smile touched her lips.
But he didn't flinch. Not when it mattered.
Her gaze drifted towards Halia, then quickly away.
This ain't how it should have ended. Stupid birds.
Finally, Zira. Rain plastered strands of hair to her face as she approached, feeling stripped bare, vulnerable. Her eyes met Garaile's, a silent plea for strength passing between them. She faced the bier, the image of Morthal falling endlessly into the churning sea, flashing behind her eyes.
He was infuriating.
She whispered, the words catching on a sob.
So sure of his path, his God, his righteousness.
She remembered the way he'd looked away after seeing her scales, but also his awkward kindness, his fumbling attempts at comfort.
He saw more than we showed him, believed in something better for us, even when we didn't.
Tears finally spilled, hot against her rain-chilled skin. She reached out, her fingers hovering over Morthal's armor, before finally touching the cold metal.
He was a shield. He held the line.
Her voice broke.
Rest, Morthal. You held it long enough.
Just as Garael was about to raise her voice for the final blessing, a figure emerged from the mist-shrouded trees, moving with a chilling, deliberate grace. He wore no gleaming plate, but dark, severe armor marked with the balanced scales of Hor, the god of vengeance and retribution. A heavy storm-gray cloak concealed much of his form, but nothing hid the chilling intensity in his eyes, pale as winter ice. A massive sword, its pommel a clenched fist of judgment, rested heavy on his back. He stopped. The silence was absolute, broken only by the frantic hammering of hearts.
I am Karma Ral.
His voice resonated, low and implacable. It held no warmth, no pity. His gaze moved, deliberate, piercing.
A paladin of the Doombringer.
Karma continued, stepping closer, radiating an aura that made the air crackle.
I follow the taint of imbalance, the trail of unpaid debts. Morthal Pashtor provided protection. I provide only retribution.
His gaze fell upon Harbin, and the townmaster felt the weight of secrets, of alliances made in shadow, pressing down upon him. It lingered on Halia, and she felt a cold awareness, as if her intricate webs of influence were suddenly laid bare. It touched Doreen, and the rogue felt the phantom weight of stolen coin, the echo of a blade sliding into defenseless flesh. It passed over Ilara, and the elf flinched, the fractured pieces of his mind recoiling from a gaze that seemed to see the evil he had done. And finally it rested on Zira, and she felt stripped bare, her carefully hidden scales prickling beneath her clothes, the raw power coiled within her suddenly feeling like a brand. His gaze moved to the bier.
His work is done, and mine begins.
He looked back to the mourners, his eyes sweeping across them like a reaper's scythe.
The scales will be balanced. The wicked will answer.
He placed a black-gloved hand on the fist-shaped pommel of his sword.
There will be...
Lightning split the bruised sky directly overhead, the flash searing the image of the paladin into their retinas. Thunder crashed, shaking the very ground beneath their feet.
A reckoning.
Another bolt, another deafening clap. Closer this time. The smell of ozone filled the air, sharp and acrid.
Hor demands it.
The final strike seemed to hit the very edge of the clearing, the sound and light overwhelming. When their vision cleared, Karma Ral stood immobile, a pillar of vengeance against the weeping sky, the echo of thunder rolling away into the grieving hills. The funeral was over.
Deep runs the strike of our blade. Our hatred will never fade. No mercy dwells in our hearts as we tear their world apart. In our weapons lies our fate, too far gone to hesitate. Let our war cry shake the ground as we hunt them down and down, till our vengeance has been paid in the crimson of our blade. Let our war cry shake the ground. their chains and break their crown. Watch their mighty towers down. Not by gold or by their plea will our wrath now let them free. We will never tire or yield till their blood stains every field. Let our war cry shake the ground as we hunt them down and down till our vengeance has been paid in the crimson of our blade. Let our war cry shake the ground as we hunt them down and down till our vengeance has been paid in the crimson of our blade. Shake the ground as we hunt them down and down till our vengeance has been paid in the crimson of our blade. Shake the ground as we hunt them down and down till our vengeance has been paid in the crimson of our blade.